I'm Tiffany. This is The Balanced Life, Redefine Success, Redefine Fail. Today I'm talking about there is one thing you need to do before you start trying to get your credit cards paid off. If you're somebody who has carried a balance or you were always paying it off and you stumbled and got behind and now there is a balance, um, the rising interest rates are probably making you feel pretty squeezed right now. It's causing people to really focus on trying to stop the bleeding. Many people who are now adults have lived in an economy where we had these really, really low interest rates. Credit cards have always been high, but in general, you could refinance really low. And now you're seeing these rates go up, and it can be a little scary. People are taking out consolidation loans, cutting up their cards, and picking up extra work, all in an effort to get their cards paid off now. But they aren't succeeding because of one thing. They aren't honest about why they have the credit card debt in the first place. Okay? So here are some things to think about. And until you're ready to face this, you're not going to see the success in getting your credit cards paid off. First of all, people are guided by their emotions. People who are guided by their emotions are going to spend far more. You need to get control of your emotions and see the connection between that and your card. They want to make other people like them, whether through peer pressure or gifts, or they want to think they deserve more than what they currently have. And because of that, they just charge it. Or maybe they aren't patient and willing to wait a little bit longer because it seems like it's taking too long. Decisions once made need to be followed. For me personally, I struggle with making my videos. I study, but then when I get ready to record, the technology really kind of annoys me, and I struggle with I'm not as good as that person, or I'm not as funny as that one, or is my information too obvious? Do I need to study more? In life, we won't always feel like doing what's best for our long-term goals. Success and failure are both hard, but you need to pick your hard. For me, I've chosen to just put myself out there to invest time and money from our own finances to try to help whoever will come across these videos. Because when I was going through this back in 2005 to 2007, I wish that somebody had been there to tell me the things that I'm now sharing. And I have up on my kitchen cabinets, my kids and husband would tell you, I have, like, the cabinets are covered with paper and quotes and things. And one of them is be who you needed to be, the person you needed to have in your life during your hardest time. And so I sit down and do this not because I want to and not because it's an ego stroke. I mean, honestly, I don't have millions of people reading my videos. I have this out there for you who took the time to see it, and for the person who is going to be helped by it and the person you share it with. That's why I do it. I feel like sometimes I'm yelling out into a wind tunnel and there's no one on the other end. But I also know that there's just one person needs to see it, and that's all that matters. See, individuals, and this still pertains to credit card debt, individuals are not willing to admit when they've made mistakes. And nowhere is this clearer than in relationships. Whether you're a parent trying to make up for being gone by buying your kids stuff, or you're manipulated by a person who always needs just a little bit of help, or even trying to buy your friends or buy friendships, taking them out to lunch, just, I won't worry about it. I make more than that person, like a guilt thing. The result is the same. It's us continuing to engage in destructive behavior. To change the world means admitting that the old way we did it was wrong, and that's really hard to do. So part of the issue with your credit card is you were doing something wrong. Even if it's you were wrong not to have enough of a cushion. And I used to make an excuse for myself back when we adopted our daughter, and then my husband found out he had cancer, and then the economy fell apart. It's like, well, how could I have known that? I was ill prepared going into that. And I know this to be true because when my husband was going to school and had no income, and the lockdowns happened, which meant I couldn't work. I still had fallback money. And when the world got sick, not just my husband, and when the whole economy shut down, not just me, and see, we didn't get those stimulus checks because our kids were the wrong age and all that stuff. It was really kind of weird. But this time, when things were even worse for everyone than they had been for us personally 15 years prior, we weathered it and thrived and things went forward. That forced me to admit that what happened to us in 2005 was not cancer's fault, was not the economy's fault, but it was my fault. I had made a series of choices that put us in a weakened state that made just one little problem tip us over the edge. So if you're not willing to face that and admit it, you're not going to get control of your finances. Or you might get control of your finances, but you'll slide back in. See, I wasn't willing to admit it back then. I realized it before my husband started school, and I prepared for it in 2018. So when 2020 happened, I was okay. Because who could have seen that coming? All right. The other thing, advertisers like to appeal to our emotions. And so they always tell you that you deserve things, that you can have it all, that you don't have to wait. We hear it so much that we start to believe it. And so we feel somehow deprived if we don't have everything that we want, when we want it, how we want it, where we want it, with whom we want it. And we actually end up paying more because of the interest and the time that you spend and all that by demanding it now than if we patiently saved for it and paid cash. So instead of being entitled, be grateful and save up and be ready, and you can see success. So we use credit cards to do more than we can do now. The problem is that we didn't have enough now. And so when that bill comes due in 30 days, it's not like it's magically going to appear at the end of the month. So we're going to be even further behind. That's why the first thing you have to do is face that where you are now is because of you. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I did this wrong. And make a disciplined plan. Let me explain how to do that now that you feel really beat up and things. But remember, I'm telling you because I learned this myself, and I was really good with money. I was really strict on my budget, but I messed up too. We all are human and we all make mistakes, but the way to not make them again is to realize it, look at it, admit it, take responsibility for it, and move forward. It may not be your fault that certain things happen, but it is your responsibility to take care of them. How does this look in life? You have to know why you want to be out of debt and how you will feel when that happens. You need to think about the freedom, the weight of the minimum payment. When the weight lifts off from the minimum payment, I know what I'm trying to say. Each time you have the urge to put something on your credit card, think about the pressure you feel making that minimum payment and how great it will feel when you don't have that anymore. You're not alone in doing this, and your situation isn't hopeless. In fact, over at my channel, I share a lot of tips about helping you cut spending and helping others in meaningful, not codependent ways. I talk about relationships, and personal growth. Nearly every video also has a link to books, resources, videos that I'm personally using to grow. I'm telling you what it is I'm doing because I really, really hated it when people would give me these generalities when I was really trying to dig out. And that's why I valued mentors. So I kind of am trying to be your mentor right now. So I hope that's okay with you. But I want you to also know we're fellow travelers. You're not alone. I'm still on this path, just in a different stage or place. Today, I'm going to leave you with a book title called The Compound Effect. It's a book by Darren Hardy. Just like the compound interest can cause financial struggles, compounding positive actions can bring lasting positive change. So I encourage you to decide on that each choice that you make today will put you one choice closer to the life that you thought you could have when you weren't afraid to dream. That's my hope for you today, guys, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.